Welcome to another episode of Day Dot Sports. Again, here with Tom after the NRL Vegas round. How are you going, Tom?
Vegas, baby. I'm good. How you going, mate?
Yeah, good. Vegas, it was exciting. It did make me very, very jealous that we weren't over there this year because it just looks like a load of fun.
Yeah, it looks like a hot time, but we're going to roll this first $5 bet into numerous bets, and we're going to be Vegas, baby.
Yeah, we're going to be Vegas next year, but it looked like a hoot unless you're the fella that blew the horn for the Canberra Raiders, who turns out wasn't quite the NFL star that he was made out to be, and I think had some dramas after that, if you've seen.
Yeah, he's taken it. I don't know. It might just be a Canberra thing rubbing off on other people getting arrested. Vegas and Canberra players, not a good concoction.
Yeah, Raiders and Vegas don't go together. Maybe it was Huddy Young and Smithies that were just in his ear at halftime. Boy, so this is what you got to do. But no, but we'll recap all of Vegas. We'll jump into our accountability for the different bets and multis and such that we put on. And of course, jump into the rest of the round one for our tips and predictions and anything else rugby league related that we kind of feel like talking about. I was going to touch on the cricket tonight, but that kind of slipped my mind and won't really be happening. All I know is Australia is going to give India a thumping. So we'll see how that goes anyway.
Shall see how that goes.
But yeah, before we jump into it, make sure you do like, subscribe on YouTube. The support goes a long way. It helps our videos get out there. It's an easy thing for you guys to do. So if you do enjoy, make sure you get around it. Go follow the social medias and everything on there. We did have our jersey giveaway on Saturday. One lucky fella. The jersey's going to have to wait a little bit for the 2025 New South Wales jersey to come out, but it does hurt me as a Queenslander.
Picked a shit jersey, but yeah.
Shit jersey, but good congrats. Yeah, well done. Thank you for following and getting around that as well. We will do some more giveaways as the season goes on, and we'll announce those when they're going to be. Have no idea, but we'll get to it. Now, accountability for the bets that we put on in Vegas. So last week we did start our $5 bet to Vegas challenge, and we both managed to hit our $5 bet to start off. I had RTS, bang, thank you very much. I didn't think it was going to happen. There wasn't much going right.
Chris was shaking in his boots that his first bet was about to shit the bed.
It wasn't
until
looking good.
Until Roger manages across the line, and there was a bit of carry on.
Yeah, well, there was that one where they went out wide and Roger had taken a hit up. They'd spread it left and Gatewell just like fell over the line. I was like, if that is the only chance they get, but Roger managed to get it done for me. So on to round two, and you got Paul Alamotti to get over. So that worked out well.
Yeah, Alamotti, he was an easy watch getting over the line. Too bad my multi couldn't salute, but Alamotti getting over for Vegas, that will do.
Alamotti got over, but you kind of had a little bit of a mix up there originally putting your bets on.
Oh, I had a cock up. And ended up being a good cock up because I jumped on Xavier Savage to score any time for the Raiders, obviously. And I happened to check that bet after the game had already kicked off, and then realised that I actually put Savage on instead of Alamotti. So luckily, when I say game kicked off, I meant the Canberra game. So luckily I picked up on that and managed to get Alamotti on. So I got two try scorers, thankfully.
Did go bang, bang. No goods on our multis of the week, though. So Huddy Young, for me, did not cross. And Casey McLean, he got TKO'd in about all of 3 minutes. So that pretty much wiped that out. Bonus bet came through, luckily. And you missed out by a Nathan Cleary goal kick, as far as I'm aware, on that Penrith one you put on.
Missed out by a big's dick, yeah. I was on my way to training and was listening on the radio, waiting to hear conversion after the try rolled over, knowing I had to get. I think I had I had Penrith minus 7.5 line, so I needed that conversion. It's the only one he missed all night.
Yeah, Nathan was hitting him good.
It was looking good until then, but we'll be onto him next week.
Yeah, we'll see what we can cook up this week as well. We'll get to that towards the end of the podcast episode. Our player of the week, though, we put our heads together and we decided that Xavier Savage, he was our player of the week. There was probably a few guys that could have been picked, but he just went out there hot and heavy, 2 tries, 7 tackle busts, ran something like 218 metres. He was a part of everything, shut down Roger Tuivasa-Sheck pretty much the entire time. So Xavier Savage, super impressive, even managed to get suspended. So he did a little bit of everything while he was out there.
Suspension not quite as impressive as Tarpanese, but he was really in and amongst them all night, wasn't he? So was impressed by Xavier Savage. And, I think he's just going to have a really great breakout season.
Oh, yeah. Like, he played really well and kind of really solidified that wing spot last season. And, yeah, rocked up again doing the same damn thing. Wouldn't surprise me if he's a sniff for Queensland if he can string together games like this. Like, if he can continue to put in on those performances, then watch out. You never know. But the other games, it was nice. Being out, like, I think I got up at like 7 o'clock on the Sunday, a little bit rusty, a few too many goals the night before with the old man. And then jump straight into the Wigan Warriors and Warrington Wolves game. So Wigan Warriors, they beat the Warrington Wolves 48-24. It was a fun watch. That's all I can say about that. I don't usually get around a whole lot of Super League, but it was enjoyable just watching tries go over and over again.
Yeah, it was enjoyable, but wouldn't have been too enjoyable for poor old Sam Burgess. That performance by his boys was a bit piss poor. Definitely could have been, I reckon, a bigger blowout of a score than what it ended up being, because I think they took Wigan took the foot off the gas for a little bit. But yeah, I think it was a very one-sided affair, but enjoyable watching a bit of Super League. Yeah,
it isn't too bad. Obviously, if the I was nearly about to say postcodes, if the time zones weren't so cooked when they play, like I'd probably have a bit of a gaze at it, at least something to have it on the background, but I can't quite put my finger on it as well. Like, they definitely play slightly different kind of brand of footy compared to the NRL. I don't know what it is, if it's like more expansive or fast, or there's something about it, but I do enjoy watching a little bit of it. Bevan French, he's just a joy to watch. The fullback as well for Wigan, Jai Field, he gave a little bit of the Scotty Drinkwater vibe for me anyway. I quite enjoyed watching those two. Bevan French is great fun.
Yeah, no, the fullback for Wigan, he was quite a handful. I'm pretty sure I remember him throwing one into the first row though when they made that break down the left hand side, and it was nowhere near the winger. But no, he was pretty handy. He made a fair few little busts through the line, and he was pretty handy with the ball as well. So
yeah, he did
be one to keep an eye on.
He did channel his inner Reece Walsh and just launch that one into the front row. But was it that he did a bad pass, or was it old mate was just slow as fuck?
Nah, there was two of them. You were talking about the second one. I think old mate hadn't got out of first gear yet, and
I think he only runs in first gear.
He was well behind the pace. The first one though, I'm pretty certain it was just a god awful pass into nobody. But the second one, I think, was on a dime for the winger to run onto, and he was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, he was left, right out. But yeah, all we got to say out of that is unlucky, Sammy. Unlucky. And then the first game of NRL Raiders, they punished the Wars 30-8. Well, the Warriors were just all at sea. The Raiders just barely gave them a chance to breathe. It was not a happy sign for New Zealand fans at all.
Feel sorry for any guys who made the big trip over there who was a Wars fan and watched that absolutely humbling. I think the Wars might have had a big night on the strip the night before or something, because they were pretty fucking not there from the get-go.
Yeah, no, it wasn't great. And I was so close. I think both of us, well, I know you literally tried to, but I was close to changing my tip to Canberra. Just whenever it comes to like a coin flip game, it's hard to not get around Canberra. They're just so gritty, physical. They're always just going to put up a fight. They're not really going to roll over for anyone most of the time. But changing your tips, a little bit illegal to do that if you ask me. But yeah, the Raiders.
No, fuck that.
Well, that's like my roommate, eh? Like he forgot to put his tips on. He's like, oh, does the footy start this weekend? Meanwhile, like he auto-tipped the Raiders. I'm like, you motherfucker. Here's me thinking he'd done some big brain thinking, and bang, auto-tips.
Yeah, I tried to jump ship at the last second, and the tipping app locked me out. So I was a bit filthy about that. Could have been 2 from 2 to start.
Yeah, I feel like I'm still riding on a little bit of the 2023 Wars hype. Like they are infectious, and you really get around it. And especially in the trials and that, like they did play not too bad. Lukia Metcalf, he went pretty well in trials. Maybe not as well in the first game.
6 fantasy points would suggest that.
I think that was
six Supercoach points.
Yeah, I got
6 Supercoach points would suggest that.
It's all right.
He did not have a great game. So I think he's going to jump on that three half turnstile. The Warriors, a bit like Be like the Knights and probably find a spot for Tanner Boyd soon.
Yeah, I see he's lining up for like the Resis and all that. I'm like, well, Tanner Boyd might be coming, but I think Luke Metcalf, like he'd move into the 6. He's definitely a 6 through and through, but I'd like to keep him there in the halves, I guess. But I feel like it was a bit of a big wake-up call for James Fisher-Harris, already taking more L's than he's probably done in the last 4 or 5 seasons. It might be a bit of that Apic Orosaur effect being like, oh, what is happening to me right now?
I think you would have expected it, probably not to that degree. In saying that, it is the first game. Like, can't really beat the fuck out of them too much about being the first game. But definitely probably a big change for Fisher Harris, jumping from powerhouse that's been Penrith for the last 5 years, 6 going into this season, to then jump on with the Wars, who are struggling a little bit.
Yeah, but no, you're right, though. Won't bet him up too bad. Mad love for the Wars. They're going to bounce back. I think it was just potentially a bad matchup. Like Canberra all over the park. They just played well. And once they got ahead as well, Wars, I don't think are really known for running teams down. They generally make a run pretty late, a little bit too late a lot of the time. So once the Raiders once they strided out a little bit, I was like, I don't think there's any coming back, unfortunately.
Yeah. Nah, yeah. It was day over, pack her up. See you next week for the Wires.
Let's hit the Strip. Let's hit the Bellagio and get around it because it's all over. Did you see the reports at all about the assistant coach trying to choke slam someone allegedly?
No, I've not seen this.
So
for the Warriors,
yeah, I haven't fully read into it super, so I'm just spitting a bit of shit about it. But I don't know if it's just one assistant coach, supposedly or allegedly saw some reporter that was chatting big shit about him when he was over in the Super League and just hit him with that. No, he didn't actually choke slam him, but I think he might have grabbed him by the throat and gave him a serious talking to. So Wales just didn't have a great day.
It was probably Danny Wilder.
Yeah, see this one.
Shish not football.
But another thing though, one last thing I just wanted to mention that happened in that game. The shot that Joseph Tarpanay put on Mitch Barnett was brutal.
Where's Red Dragon when you need him? Bring back the shoulder charge. Bring back the biff. Oh, that was fucking elite.
That was a weapon of a shot, hey? Joseph Tarpanay flew out of line and just sent Mitchy Barnett into orbit. And he's a big boy as well. Both of those are big boppers.
If I was a Canberra fan, I'd be all for just him having a couple of weeks off and enjoying that because that was the greatest shot. Probably we're going to see this season.
And look, did he try to wrap it arm? No, absolutely not. Not even a slightest chance of trying to wrap an arm. It was a straight shoulder charge, and he's suspended for a few weeks now. But that kind of action was pretty good to see. It's going to be a highlight reel for a while. The NRL's really hyped up the no pads, no nothing type of thing. And Joseph Tarpanay went, yeah, bet, bruh, no worries at all.
Say less, bro. Yeah. I'm going to rearrange Barnett's ribs.
And as far as I'm aware, Mitchy Barnett is a tough customer as well. So for him to be rattled for a little bit on the ground,
for him to be wincing on the ground, yeah,
I would fucking
solid hit.
Oh, I'd hate to know what that feels like. Oh, that's for sure. But and then the next game. People have a lot of different opinions about it, but the Gillaroos, our girls, they went out there and buried England 90-4. Some people, like I said, they've really given this game a hard time. Yes, it was a proper flogging, and some people find that not enjoyable or whatever. Was it the best option to showcase the women's game? Maybe not. Was Origin or something like that a little bit better, or the Kiwis? Probably. But I just like seeing our girls go out there and put England to the sword. What do you think?
Australia versus England and anything, I'm happy to fuck up England any day of the week. Cricket, footy, whatever's going on. I'm glad to smash England. In saying that, probably wasn't the greatest of matchups. So I get where they were coming from. That they had Super League game on before that. But if they're going to do it in the future, then I wouldn't be surprised if they look for the first state of origin for the women's, even though it would just touch it from the series, it'd string it out a fair while, which would be a bit shit. Or like you said, Australia versus the Kiwis or something that's going to be a good solid contest. You're not going to see a rollover score like what we saw on the weekend, 90. What was it? 90-4? Was it?
It was a proper throwing a white flag type of moment.
Yeah, like we did say. our Jillaroos do just get footy, and they showed that on Sunday.
I was a little bit disappointed that my tip of them getting 100 plus didn't quite come off. I thought they were going to cross the line there for a little bit the way they were going. I think they might have actually taken the foot off the gas just a teeny little bit in the last few minutes.
Gosh, it was still a good cricket score, though.
Oh, was it what? Our Broncos girls, they put on a show. Tamika Upton scored 5 tries. Julie Robinson got herself a nice little hattie. The halfback, actually, for the Jillaroos, Taryn Aitken, I don't know if you saw any of her ball playing. She's elite. Like, actually so good to watch. Handy. Super good. I do feel sorry for the girls, though. Like, already they're pretty much like, well, 4 games might have been too many. They're going to, likely look at cutting them. So, bit of a shame, but it was good that they still got to go over there and, kind of show what they're capable of. And I'm just kicking myself. I didn't put any bets on it because I'm trying to be a good boy. But the amount of people that just literally put every single person just to be able to score a try and it came off and won quite a hefty amount of money. I'm like, probably could have got around that. But no, I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
And then last game, the Panthers, they beat the Sharpies 28-22. Panthers, honestly, they could be doing a 5-peat. Wouldn't surprise me at this point. And Nathan just seems to be getting better and better. It's a little bit scary.
Yeah, he's growing like a fine wine, isn't he? Honestly, after in that second half when Penrith put two on the Sharks, I thought that was going to be Sharks done and buried. But they showed a bit of backbone because they do have a tend to roll over against some of those top 4 teams and have a bit of a thrashing put on them. But geez, it was a good game though.
Yeah, it was. I found like the last few times these two have clashed, like it is a bit of a tug of war until Penrith just decide, okay, we're going to win it now. It seems to be how it goes.
You're too close now. Bye-bye.
Yeah. And for Noah Blake, though, he was a problem in that forward pack. I think the game would have gone very, very different for the Sharks if they didn't have him in there. And the big fella managed to cross over for a meat pie in his first game for the Sharks as well. So I dare say that's going to be first of many. And he really fits in, I think, with that like battering ram like style of footy that Cronulla like to play up the middle.
Yeah, like you've seen how Fitzy sort of used Talakai for the last like couple of seasons or even like Royce Hunt when he used to come on and cause a bit of mayhem off the bench. But no, for Noah Blake, massive pickup for the Sharkies. I think he fits the dynamic of the team really well.
Yeah, no, I think he's good. But yeah, it's like screw with Penrith again. Oh, okay, we need to score a try. Yeah, no worries. Let's just sweep it out to the left. Here you go, Laurie. Bang, fall over the line. Happy days. Like it's ridiculous. Alrighty. Another thing that has been massively hyped over the last few days is Rugby League Live has another game coming this year. I'm sure you would have seen. So Andrew Abdo was on Hello Sport podcast. Tom and Eddie berating him with a few questions, throwing a few juicy ones out there. He pretty much The boys got the scoop, massive scoop. Oh, yeah. He pretty much weaved everything like a professional boxer that he didn't want to answer, though. He was just, I don't want to answer that. But then out of nowhere comes out with Rugby League Live 5 is on the way and is going to be actually out sometime this year as well. People have been asking for that game for yonks. The last one was in like 2017, so we're well due for another one. I don't really play games anymore, but I'd almost be tempted to buy that just to kind of hit that old technique, hit sideways, run around the field, bang, score 100 tries.
I reckon I'd only be happy for it to come back. Well, I'm going to be happy for it to come back regardless, but I reckon I'll go out and purchase it if the NRL can do a deal with the Hoodoo Gurus and get What's My Team on as the fucking theme song for it again and get Andrew Voss strictly commentating. I think that's what they need to do. Bring it back to the Rugby League Live, Rugby League Original 1 and the Rugby League Live 2 or whatever it was, World Cup edition and stuff. They were all time. That would be elite, especially if they had Las Vegas Vossi on there, because my God, that man was dribbling a bit on the weekend. He was on some all-time commentary stuff. He was pretty happy. Yeah, he had all the one-liners coming out. Oh, yeah. Sure. He'd been practicing in the mirror for weeks leading up to Las Vegas because he spit those out. Who do you think is going to be the cover athlete for the Rugby League 5 game? I wouldn't be surprised if they've lent to the Prince, or I'd say probably the Prince. I'd say Nathan Cleary, they're going to whack right on the front, I reckon, considering how dominant Penrith has been. Yeah, I feel like last so often. I feel like it'd be really rude not to put Nathan Cleary on there
4-peat and all with Penrith and everything he's achieved. You could lean into it and go, well, you could go a recent Dally M winner, so you like Jerome Hughes or something like that on there. A really popular one could just be hot boy Reece Walsh, obviously.
Got one. Back to back, Tom Hazelton, Alex Twell.
No,
Just give me Alex Twell on the cover.
It should be Alex Twell, Paddy Carrigan, and whoever else was like the last to score a try or something like that. Just meat pies galore.
Fuck them all. Give me Alex Twell.
Twelve, bro. Or you could look at like a Legends edition or something like that, because you know a lot of games have like limited editions, blah blah blah. You know, you could have like Cameron Smith on it, Darren Lockyer, like something like that. I guess Joey Johns, if you're into that type of stuff, could be an option for you. But
yeah,
I'm very keen. But a lot of like sporting games, I know for a fact with UFC, there's a bit of a cover curse that tends to go on, where whichever athlete is put on the cover tends, well, in UFC's case, tends to get brutally KO'd and lose their title not long after that. I had a little bit of research and I had a look. The last Rugby League Live game, so Rugby League Live 4, had Renault on the front of it in 2017, I think it came out. The Rabbits, they came 12th that year. So the curse, any sort of curse, seems to love 12th spot. And I'm really then hoping that they just put Nathan Cleary on the front cover and bang, Penrith
missed 8. Give me the odds. Penrith missed 8.
So it'll be interesting if there's going to be some sort of athlete cover curse.
Remortgage the house, Jess. We're putting it all on Penrith to miss the 8.
Just fingers crossed, not Reece Walsh. Don't put the Broncos on there. We've had enough bad juju coming 12th and whatever else. But yeah, I guess we'll find out. Alrighty, but that gets us into our tips and predictions for the rest of round 1. I pretty much like to say round 1. Vegas is more so round 0. Thursday night, we've got the Roosters versus the Broncos. Luckily, this one is down in Sydney because Alfred is on his way, and I dare say Caxton Street, Suncorp and the VB factory is going to be underwater any day now. 6 more. So, yeah, going to be interesting, that one down there. I'm going to be backing my Broncos 13+. I do not like what I've seen from the Roosters so far in the trials. Yes, they are trials, but not loving it.
Especially Chad Townsend.
No, even when
Chad chili on the boot, Townsend.
I've seen other people giving him so much shit, like on his podcast clips and all that. They're just like, lock in, son. Like, stop making clips, bro. No, we love you, Chad.
I'll definitely be rolling with the Broncos 13+ as well. Not to be biased, but I think the boys hope all the hype yet again hasn't gone to their heads too early, but I think they got Madge to keep them grounded. But I think Broncos will and hopefully do a number on the Roosters.
Oh, yeah. Like, I think at the moment I've seen quite a few people coming out saying that the Broncos, you know, are probably their favourites to win the contest again. Trying not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but we are very much hot to trot. And I think you're right. I feel like Madge would be keeping them level-headed and not letting them get too far ahead of themselves. Like, he'd be walking around training with like a newspaper clipping them over the back of their head or something like that if they're showing off too much. So I think Madge is going to have them good.
Bit of Severus Snape about Madge.
Yeah, exactly. Turn to page. I can't
turn to page 14. Reach. Sounds a bit like Buzz Snape. Yeah. Bit of buzz about him.
If they remake the movie, Buzz for Severus Snape. Chuck a wig on him. No worries.
Don't mess with me. Hagrid, I've got a scoop. Don't mess with me, Potter.
That'd be a classic.
But fucking.
We've lost the plot. But no, as for the Roosters, if you're getting done in by the Knights badly in the trials, if Broncos can perform anything like they've got the capability to do, I can see them ending their season in the first round, 50+ bang. I might be putting a little bit too much on that, but really, I think they're going to go well. A few changes in the squad. We had a chat about it, I think, last week with Staggs going down injured. Shibasaki, him and Mariner are going to be pairing there in the centres, so Staggs out for a little bit. Good chance for those boys to kind of probably solidify who's going to stay on in that position for the rest of the season. Shibasaki, I think, supposedly has a little bit better D, so that will be good. And Joe Getski. Go Jet Ski, bruh.
Jack Jafeski, I don't know.
Jackie G, he's starting on the edge too.
Jackie G's rolled in. Pure Cure has been, is it Ricky has been relegated.
Hang on, Ricky. No, he hasn't.
John Ricky, pretty.
No.
Isn't he?
No.
Is he playing?
Yeah, he's playing. Pia Cora's on the bench.
I'm fucking got well ahead of myself then. Yeah. So pure curious.
Tell me how you really feel about Ricky.
No, I love Jordan Ricky. Chase King. Yeah, nah. If you look at the lineups, like the back five still for the Roosters is still really solid, and so is their forward pack as well. From 8 to 13. I think just what they're going to be really lacking is in the halves.
Yeah.
Chatty Townsend's obviously on the back end of his career, and can't remember who's in the 6.
Sandon Smith.
Yeah, so I think they might struggle a little bit in the 6 and the 7. So therefore, go Bronx.
Yeah, I can see it almost for the Roosters, like turning out a little bit like how it did for the Broncos last season. Like when we lost Reynolds at different periods, or Mam, or like whatever's going on, we kind of still had like the forwards, we had the backs, and all these other guys like still in the team, but no one like leading that ship, and it just went to shit. So I can see like a bit of a problem for them. Our bench as well. So Billy, he's in their 14. We pretty much expected that one. Corey Jensen, Xavier Willis, and Brendan Piakora. One person I reckon who. It is kind of hard to argue. Jensen's definitely in there. The only one I'd really look at, well, maybe the only two I'd look at changing, if you were going to change any moving forward with that one, would be depending on how Xavier Willinson plays. But even then, I'd probably have him there at the moment. Brendan Piakora, do we need to run with him on the bench? I'm not too sure. It can't hurt to have him there, that's for sure. But someone I reckon who...
Oh. Well, yeah, back rows aren't probably going to play 80, so they definitely need someone there. But yeah, go on.
But one person I was going to say that I reckon has been a little bit hard done by, but kind of slotting around that origin period though, is Marty Tapau, because he's been playing good, and I like what Marty's about as long as he's not doing the bloody George Masvidal flying knees into people.
I think Marty's. You say Marty's been good. It's probably like a bit of a stretch. Like I think he's been good for what he has for the price we're paying for him, and for what he has been off the bench. But I'm definitely having Corey Jensen and Xavier Wilson in there any day of the week over Marty.
That's fair. Maybe I'm just a big Kapow fan. I don't know. I just like a bit of Marty.
I don't know. I think you've been to too many Broncos games live and listened to old mate over the fucking speaker go, Kapow.
Yeah, look.
Kapow.
Do I like it? Maybe I do. Who's the anytime try scorer for this game, Tom? What are you getting on? Who's talking out?
I'll be jumping on someone Cobbo, I reckon, anytime. Big boy being back on the wing. I think he's hot and dangerous out there, due for a meaty.
Yeah, I think he's good for it. I'm going to go with Reece Walsh because it's death taxes and Reece Walsh scoring anytime. I do like Throbbo being back out of the wing, though. I saw him dancing, eating food the other day. Big boy looks happy, so I think while he's happy, he's going to go well. Okay, and Friday night footy, we've got the Tigers versus the Knights. Tigers, I don't know how or why, but pretty much up until today, especially after the team list came out, they were tracking as favourites there for a while. So I don't know what people were saying that I wasn't. This is your 3-time Spooners. Yes, they've added a few players in, Jerome Luai, yes, Class, like whatever else, but I don't think you're going to get this like drastic, ridiculous change just from adding a few more people in there. So I'm going Knights 13 plus.
Yeah, I'll be jumping on the Knights 13 plus as well. As much as my heart wants to get on the Tigers, because I think I'm one of those people who've been swept up in the hype about the Tigers. Back to back Spooners. I think I'll be jumping on the Knights comfortably 13 plus.
Yeah, like Knights, they've played, they're just like one of those weird teams. They just always seem to be jumping up in finals. Like they don't seem to be tracking that well, but then they're in there. So like they've played a couple of final series in a row. KP, if he's anywhere near his best, can pretty much turn a game on its head entirely by themselves. Pretty sure the Knights again have rotated through their little Ferris wheel of halves. It's Cogger and Sharp. And I think the last time was Gamble. So again, they've just gone, time for a change. Your turn to go.
Let's just Sharp. Yeah, it was Gamble last. I think last trial was Gamble. So he hasn't found his way in the 17. So yeah. Textbook fucking Knights behaviour, rolling through their halves like they're nothing.
Yeah, it's going to be Gamble next week, I guarantee you.
On Yadam O'Brien.
Yeah, they might even just change it around a little bit. Oh, let's put KP in 6 just for shits and gigs. Put Sharp at 1.
Yeah, no.
But
See some rubbish coming from them.
But but yeah, I think the Knights are going to pump him well. I'm going to go with Greggy Marju. I really like Greg Marju. He's just a weapon there at the back. He's going to get over any time. What are you thinking?
Honestly, thinking the same. He's been a pretty solid lock for me last year when I was jumping on the bets as well. I'd be either popping up between him, Batter and Best, or Callum Ponga. So, but I'll be jumping on Big Greggy boy.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the same areas with that one. Now, next game, this one has been moved here from Queensland, I believe it's Suncorp, all the way down to bloody New South Wales because Alfred, the Cyclone, not a big fan of the rugby league game. So that one's been moved down there for obvious reasons. This one does make me wary a little bit. It's a little bit of master versus apprentice action here. Christian Wolf versus the old Sly Fox Uncle Wayne going at it. And saying that, I am going to go with the Finns 1-12, but I could have gone either way, especially if Bunnies had all their players.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the same as well. I'm going to roll with the Finns 1-12. I'm going to jump on Hamaso anytime to cross. Because that boy just loves to score meat pies. It's, I reckon, a coin flip could go any which way this game. But like you said, I think if Bunnies were strong 1-12, 1-13, I'd probably be jumping on them. But no Murray, no Trell fit. Is a bit of a dampener on their team. Yeah,
it does make a difference. Cam Graham back in, which is lovely. Nice to see that fella get it back out there after having a fucking rough run.
Yeah, dude's due.
Yeah, he's due. Someone put the voodoo dolls down. If anything happens to them in this game, I don't think I'm going to be able to go on because that would be so rough. But yeah, no Trell, no Cam Murray, particularly Trell, like a guy like that, again, just X factor, can turn a game on his head when he's on. Jai Gray doesn't quite have the same effect with that one. So I think the Dolphins definitely have the stock to put the Bunnies down. Wayne's teams, though, they do historically fall off a bit of a cliff, but I think they're going to be okay. One kind of odd position change that I saw was Maxi Plath playing out on the edge. Don't know how I feel about that, but he's a bit of a gun though, so I'm sure he can handle it.
I think he's definitely one who's super universal though.
Plug and play.
Between the 13, he's a hell of a player.
Oh yeah.
Who I definitely think is going to roll into a Queensland jersey in a couple of years' time.
Yeah.
Anywhere between the 9, back row, and the 13. I think he said himself like he hasn't had much experience playing back row. But what we've seen from him in the 9 and 13, he's been unbelievable. So
yeah,
I think it's just going to be, just add another note to his book pretty much.
Yeah, literally just business as usual for Max Plath. I feel like he's a lot like Tyron Wishart, where you're just like, put me anywhere, coach. I'll fucking turn up big time for you. My anytime try scorer, though, I'm going to go with Herbie Farmworth. That bloke has been unstoppable for the last few seasons. He could arguably be the best centre in the game at the moment, I reckon. But yeah, he's going to be a handful. So Saturday, we got the Dargans versus the Doggies. I'm going to go with the Doggies 1-12 because it is well documented that I'm not the biggest fan of the Dragons, especially after Flano took digs at my Pookie Bear. No, took a dig at my Pookie Bear, Ben Hunt. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Doggies 1-12 as well. Just think they're a bit more of an experienced, better all round team. So I'll be taking the Doggies 1-12. Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like with the Dragons' new signings, like it's just such a different looking team compared. It's like so many key players have changed, but with that Dally M pairing in the halves there with Flano and Ilias, you just never know what's going to happen. But the Doggies, I feel like they still looked pretty solid against the Broncos in that trial game. Yes, again, trial, like whatever. But if their defense can hold up anything like it did in the previous season, I think they're just going to be able to hold them out and put on points when they need to. It probably won't be a massive score. Try scorers, I think this guy's going to pick up a lot this season, just running really hot lines. Jacob Preston.
I know you're going to say. Yeah. I was literally about to say
he's a machine.
I'm going to jump on. Well, since you're going to say that, I was going to say Jacob Preston because the dude has done wonders for me running tight lines out the back row. But all right, you can have Jacob Preston. I'll be jumping on Bronson Cherry.
He was my other one too. Both of those boys run that bloody hard. But yeah, it's going to be an ongoing theme that I've got a bit of a vendetta against the Dragons because not only because of Flano and things that he's said about my beautiful Ben Hunt, but Also, every single time I jump on them, they tend to fail. So I've just got to go against them. Actually, well, and what the Dragons, what was it? You could literally pick their pattern. It was win loss last season. It was the easiest thing to tip, actually.
Kind of been too easy for you. I think you come second last and tip in.
It was more like third last, but we're not going to talk about it. Next game, Seagulls versus the Cowboys. I'm going to go with Manly 1-12. Tommy Bra, he might just win this one on his own there in Manly, to be completely honest. I don't like the Cowboys so far away from Queensland as well. Historically, not good.
Nah, I'll be also, I think, what did you have, 1-12? 13 plus?
I've gone 1-12.
I'll be taking a leaf out of Tom and Eddie's playbook. I'll be tipping Manly 13 plus, and I'll be having Tommy Trbojevic for 2 or more. Thank you.
Or 2 or more, yeah. I've got Tommy anytime as well. I think cross fingers, touch wood, everything. I just want to see that man fit and firing because I want to milk him all season for tries. It is going to be beautiful, but I think he's going to be giving Cowboys so much head noise, just popping up everywhere. Like, Tommy Trbojevic is a pest, especially with like the little kicks and all that come in the last tackle and him just cruising through. Like, and Cowboys, they can be a bit of a glass cannon sometimes as well. Like, they've got a pretty handy attack when they're hot and humming, but other times, like, they can put the tries on, but fuck, their defense just leaks points. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, when they're hot, but when they're not, they do tend to leak a lot of points. So I'm back in a shitty night in Manly for that game. Terrible weather for the Cowboys to be rolling down from Townsville into Manly. Hostile environment. Brookvale Oval is.
Sure that.
I think they just get the job done, Manly.
Yeah. And then the last game of round 1, we got Storm versus the Eels. This one, Eels fans, get the white flag ready, get the towel ready to throw on, because I'm really hoping you're not going to have your season finished and have 50 put on you straight away, because I'm going with Storm 13 plus. Storm, their first round track record is undefeated, undisputed. Bellamy don't lose a first round. And they haven't.
Bellamy's never lost the first round, and Storm ain't going to break it this weekend.
No, and they haven't won a game since before the grand final. So they're going to be up and out at something different. I feel like this week they're going to be revved up to punish. So yeah, I'd be closing your eyes if you were an Eels fan. I don't think the Eels are going to go too well this season in general. I've said that many times. So yeah, it could be a tough one.
You've got a tip on them for the spoon.
Oh yeah.
I think this is going to be an absolute rugby league masterclass by Melbourne Storm. I'll be comfortably taking them 13 plus, and I'll be jumping on my boy Xavier Coates across anytime.
Oh, Xavier Coates is a good one. I'm jumping on Harry Grant. He loves a scoot. I think he's going to see tired defenders. He's going to burrow over, bang. I was thinking between him and Cam Munster, but I'm going to go with Harry Grant.
Harry had, sorry to cut you off, he had a ridiculous habit last year of picking the ball up randomly off kicks and just being able to run 5 meters and fall across the line. So I reckon you'll see he just seems to pop up at the right time. So wouldn't be surprised if you see him cross like that.
Exactly. So yeah, I fucking love you, Harry. There's going to be a little bit of that when he crosses the line. Alrighty. Alrighty, that brings us to our...
Shout out to that pissed lunatic from the sunny coast.
Yeah, I forgot he's from there. Right? Have you still got those beers?
Sam. Yeah, they also got those beers.
You need to take a photo of them. We'll take a photo of that and put them up on the Instagram sometime, because those would be relics of the past at this point.
Yeah,
that'd be well and truly off.
I think. Oh yeah, I had half a carton or 3/4 of cartons in there and totally forgot about them in my cupboard. And then they've been well off by the time I got around to find them again.
You get that on the big jobs. But that brings us now to our $5 to Vegas bets. Now, this is our $5 Vegas challenge, starting with $5. We're trying to double it each week until we've got enough for Vegas, baby, which is roughly about 10 correct bets. We both got up on week 1, so we're going to go back-to-back on this one on week 2. I'm going to be jumping on Reece Walsh anytime. Thank you very much. Again, death, taxes, and Reece scoring anytime. He's paying about $1.90 when I got on him, so that is going to take me well and truly through to round 3. Very keen for it. What have you got?
Well, essentially I should be punting 20 since I've got $10 up.
That's cheating.
I'm going to be jumping on Jermaine Sacco anytime. He's sitting at $1.97 at the moment on a mysterious blue betting agency's website. I think he's a bit of a lock. I wouldn't say a lock, but he's a pretty hot chance of getting over.
Yeah. just about last thing, our multi of the week. I've got a little bit something going on. Maybe I wouldn't say just missed out last week, but I might have shot a little bit too high. So I'm reeling myself back in this week. I've got a little something with the Knights on the line, so minus 2.5. Tom Trebojevic anytime and Xavier Coates to cross the line anytime. That is going to bring you up a nice little $6.67 on a mysterious orange betting agency. I'm liking that a lot because I think the Knights are going to punish the Tigers.
Yeah, bit of a fan of that. What I've got rolling on is a little Melbourne multi for this week because I think Melbourne is well and truly going to fuck up Parramatta. So I'll be jumping on, for my bet this week, I'll be jumping on Melbourne on the head-to-head, Melbourne 13+. And I'll be taking Xavier Coates, Will Warbrick, and Ryan Papenhuyzen to cross anytime.
There's a couple of moving parts.
There's a couple of moving parts, but those three boys do love to find the line. So I'll be taking that at $7.75 odds, please.
Is that on a blue or orange or?
That would be on a blue agency.
Sponsor us, please. Alrighty. Now, last but not least, if this player was a beer, Corey Horsburgh. What are we thinking?
Corey Horsburgh. Oh, I reckon I just got one straight off the bat. It's got to be Forex bitter. Big boy from Queensland, Forex man, and that dude is about as orange as a fucking can of Fanta. So I'll be jumping on Corey Horsburgh Corey Horsburgh, Forex bitter.
Oh, mine, I'm deviating a little bit away from the beer theme, but he's going to be a Diablo ginger beer. Again, that thing is red, spicy, and from Queensland, and is firing you up a little bit and then some. So he's got a bit of that get up and go about him. So Corey Horsburgh is a Diablo ginger beer, the big red.
Yeah, I think you'll find. Nah, yeah, gingy. I think you'll find Corey Horsburgh is a big Forex bitter. I don't, maybe not him. He might not be a big Forex bitter drinker, but I reckon his dad will be.
Yeah. Reach out, Corey. Let us know if you punish the gold, not the golds, the bitters or not, but
the bitters.
But well,
a bit of delicacy.
That's pretty much us for this week. Hopefully all goes well with Cyclone Alfred. For anyone that is around Queensland that could potentially get affected by it, including myself, stay safe. Make sure you look after yourself, one another. Prep everything, follow all the bloody stuff on the bomb, all that sort of jazz. But enjoy the rest of round one. Hopefully the multis go well. Again, like, subscribe, all that sort of jazz, and we'll catch you next week.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening again.
Later.
See yous.